Hey guys, hey fellow targeted individuals. This is VW Vulcan Wolverine again. I hope you enjoyed some of my videos where I was really anxious and getting hurt a lot. I'm sitting in my enclosure right now, and you can see I have tons of aluminum polyester on the top and on the sides, just stacks of it. So, it's really hard to get through. What I find is the best combination is a neutralizer, like where it's coming from. If you know it's your neighbor's doing it, then put it, as close to them as you can. The Q-Wave tabletop neutralizer is really good for this. The only thing is, it's like $500. So I guess I'd suggest to people with money out there to fight this, I'd get a tabletop defender, right away and put it right next to the people that are shooting stuff into your house. If you know that, and I know in some circumstances that people don't even know, who's shooting it at them. It's not their neighbors. It's just remotely from somewhere else. But I found that I was getting hit, and so I made some adjustments and stuff like that. And now, I'm still getting hit some, but it's decreased a lot. And I feel like I make these videos, and they're watching. I mean, they have me on remote neural monitoring, so they're seeing this video as I'm making it. He's ex-military. He's watching me all the time. Just everything I do. If I watch something weird on the internet or something, he uses that. I'll hear it on the microwave hearing. See, he's crazy. He's watching something weird on the internet. Let's get him. And it's sad because it's like I can't just live my life independently and do the things I want without thinking, how is this guy who's trying to murder me going to react and lie to people around him to try and, get that murder going more, And, but it's weird, because, I got an electrician to come out and look at the wall, which I can't fix. I have a wall that's out that I was trying to use plugs in, the neutralizing plugs from Altera, and those are very good. Those are awesome. The plugs, Q-Wave stuff, the neutralizers are what I found. They actually help the most, because if you use those in conjunction with shielding, then you're golden. And my guy, he's militant, so he keeps on turning the frequency and the signal up somehow, and I think he actually gets. He networks out for more microwave weapons, and then he puts them in the same spot, kind of shooting in all of them, so it gives it more power, to surpass the aluminum or whatever I have neutralizing it. So it's been kind of a battle for 2 years. I know somebody in the comments said, well, you have shielding, so how are they hurting you? And this is I had $18,000 in a 401k account before all this started, and now I don't have that anymore. And it's not just because I used it just on stuff to defend from him, but I used probably $5,000 on stuff, and I had lots of money. So if he would get the signal stronger than what I had to neutralize it and block it, I'd just go out and buy something else. Go buy corrugated steel and paint aluminum on it. Buy aluminum paint. So now I'm at a point where I do have sources of money, but I can't just go out and spend $500 on a tabletop defender, which I did. I bought 4 of them, and it really neutralizes it. But sometimes this guy has military grade EMF weapons and ELF. It's strong stuff. The satellite stuff that he uses. So it's like I have to use multiple tabletop defenders on him. I think maybe in some circumstances, like some people, because I've seen some people on YouTube, and they're like, well, I have attacks during the day. I'll have a headache for an hour, and then it'll go away for the rest of the day. So I'm not sure how all of these attackers are. The program, it seems like it is 24-hour surveillance and torture, but I think in some circumstances, some people just get attacks at certain times of the day. And, I could imagine where you wouldn't even need shielding if they're just doing it, for an hour a day or something like that. But I don't know if that even exists. I've just know that some people have said, I get a headache for certain parts of the day, but it's not 24 hours. With my case, it is, the ex-military guy, and he's gotten the person on the other side of me and across the street to kind of help him out. So it's like I don't really know. It's like if I block one way, he's going to try and get the other guys to help him out, like, and kind of get through my defenses. And they do it all the time. I mean, he does it all the time. Now the two guys, I'm not sure about the guy across the street because I know he has a plumbing job, so I think he's not doing it 24 hours. He actually has to have a real job. And the ex-military guy, I guess maybe he's on a pension and then he gets money from doing this. I don't know, but he's apparently surviving pretty good. He's built his life around torturing me and killing me with radiation. I'm an American citizen. He's an American citizen who was in the military, and he is lying to people around him. And what happens is I've been researching cults lately because I'm really I'm interested in how people just do just horrible, like, things that you would outside of that mob, you would look at it and you'd be like, this is crazy. People are killing this guy in his house. He's defenseless. He doesn't even know them. Like, but it's kind of a cult mentality. This guy has a mission. He's ex-military. He's like, he's going to kill me in my house or get me out of here. And then it's like if he does it long enough, people just accept it. And they just go along with it because he's telling them that it's okay, and he's ex-military, and people have done it before. And I think that's what cults are. It's just kind of, you follow along. You're like, oh, okay, well, this is the new thing, and you just kind of go along with it until people start passing out the punch with cyanide in it, and everybody dies. So it's crazy. I mean, it's crazy that people would spend. He spends 24 hours a day on this, or he either does that, or they have another young guy who hangs out with him, and they probably switch off. I know at times he probably loops the microwave hearing, so like he'll just, whatever they've said before, he'll put it on a loop and then send it in. Right now, at this time, and I have to take this time to enjoy my life and enjoy not hurting so much and just enjoy it and just not complain. Because I did switch some stuff around. It kind of worked, but I don't know for how long. Because it is a human being, and I think what he does, and I don't know. This is just a theory, so this is really a far out theory. I'm on remote neural monitoring. The biggest question that people ask me is like, how would he even know, if it's affecting you or you're hearing it in your house? How would he be able to shoot it at you, and then if it doesn't work, because what my neutralizers do is you'll hear it coming through, you'll hear the EMF, the high-pitched sound that he's trying to fill this side of the house with, and you'll hear it for maybe a minute or 30 seconds, and then the neutralizer will kick in because it's shooting out scalar waves and solfeggio waves and stuff like that, and it's building them up around my house. So the EMF will break through, but then it'll be neutralized. It'll just be cut short. So it's like, people ask me, how does he know, if it's not working? How does he know if it's affecting you? And I guess my theory on that, they're either coming into my house and sitting in my enclosure, and then they're practicing with that while I'm gone. I think they are coming into my house. I'm not totally 100% sure on that because they haven't stolen anything. That kind of scares me. I know that they've broken into my car and sabotaged my car and stuff, but I think it has to do with remote neural monitoring. These people basically, they shoot a microwave signal through your visual cortex, so they can get kind of thoughts that go through your visual cortex, and they can see kind of what you're seeing. Like if you look in a mirror, they would see that. They'd see your image. So that microwave signal actually builds an image based off the rods and the cones in your eyes and your visual cortex and everything. And they also can hear what you're hearing. So I have a theory, I don't know, and this is far out. A lot of this stuff, I don't know about this technology, but I think that, they'll turn up the EMF or turn up the ELF, or not the ELF because you can't hear the ELF. I think they have to base that off of just if I'm, acting like I'm hurt. But the EMF, I think they can base it off the remote neural monitoring. They hear what I'm hearing, so they can kind of tell if it's working. They can kind of tell if that signal is, is not being neutralized and is coming through and is at enough of a frequency that it can hurt me and torture me. I don't know. I don't know their methods for knowing if it hurts me. I think sometimes they don't. Sometimes they're just, doing it, and they're like, "Well, it's probably hurting him. Let's just keep doing it. Keep doing it. They keep, turning up the signal." That's one thing I hear on microwave hearing. It's like, turn it up, turn it up. So, and this is really just a video. I didn't know what I wanted to talk about, but like I have a Reprieve because I did some things with neutralizers and stuff, and I took a risk doing it, and it worked for a little while, and I'm just right now it's working. He may see this video and compensate. So I don't know. Like, I hate this because it's like, anything I tell y'all, he's gonna surveil and he's gonna make adjustments. It's like he's hooked into me. He's been hooked into me for 2 years, and it's like they hook into you. They surveil you 24 hours a day. They watch you while you use the bathroom. They watch you while you watch anything else. They watch you while you read, and just try and make you out to be crazy. Like, I mean, last night I was helping my dad, and he's doing really good. He's standing up by himself and using the bathroom. Like, he's getting into bed by himself. Like, his healing is exponentially taking off. So thank God for that. Thank God. It's a blessing. It's a miracle because a lot of people who have aneurysms don't even live through the surgery. So I thank God so much. And I thank God for just this little reprieve that I have, from my attackers. And it's the guy next to me, the Latino family on the other side, and the guy who lives. So they've got me in a kind of a triangle type thing, and there are offices in the back. That's what kind of worries me a lot. There are offices in the back of our houses, and it's like, I don't know if they're all used. I don't know if this guy's going to spend money, to get an office, and then he could just go in there at night and try and hit me from the back side. So I actually put stuff, on the back side of my house too, because if I don't, then he might use that. He might see that as a hole, in my defenses, and use that. And he's military, so it's a military operation. I'll hear him say, "We got him," and like it's like this big fight for him. But he's got what's really going on is he has an American citizen who has an autoimmune disorder trapped in his house, and they're just shooting radiation at my head while I sleep. They get me the best when I'm prone. So, like, military operation, I don't see that. I see it as just torturing and tormenting American citizens, like innocent American citizens. But I don't know. I mean, he's convinced everybody it's a military operation, and it's a challenge, and I don't see how they do this. It's complete evil to just torment and torture a person that has nothing to do with you. Like, I have nothing to do with him. Like, I would go about my life and not have anything to do with him until he aggressively surveilled me in my house while I'm naked and doing things, and I didn't even know he was watching me. I mean, who's the bad guy here? He's convinced everybody that I'm this bad, crazy guy, and I need to get out of the neighborhood, but he's the good guy, and he's protecting everybody, when he's really just killing people in their homes. And that's where the cult aspect comes in for me. It's like, people believe crazy things. If they feel like they can be part of something, part of a group, they believe in crazy things, and people's lives are in danger when that happens because, nobody takes accountability for it. It's a big group. If I die or if I get cancer, there's always questions. So it's like they do everything in a questionable manner, in a treacherous manner, so they don't have to take accountability. He's like, okay, I forgot about this. I called the sheriff on, what day was it? Either Saturday or Sunday. Must have been Sunday. I called the sheriff's department, and the sheriff came out, and he was really nice, and I just talked to him about what was going on. Like, I trust a lot. I think there's maybe like 3% of all the police departments and fire departments and CIA and FBI, maybe 3% that are complicit in this stuff. I don't know about that figure, but I know that a lot of them don't know about it. So he came up, and I was just told him the story. I was like, my neighbor is killing me in my house. He's shooting this EMF, this ELF stuff, and it's really hurting me. It's killing me. I'm trying to defend myself. but I can't prove that the guy's doing it. I saw him in the window with one of the weapons. It had a target on the top. It looked like a speed trap gun, and that could have either been the surveillance weapon they're shooting to see me through walls, or it could have been one of the microwave weapons. He did. I was like, man, can you go over and talk to him? So he went over and talked to him, and the guy said he bared me no ill will, and he in the war he lost the ability to hear high frequencies. But it's BS, because I scream at the top of my lungs sometimes from this house to his house. Like, right by his house, I scream bloody murder. I'm like, you're a murderer, and I scream stuff. He hears that stuff. So why would he not mention that to a cop? Like, oh, this guy, I've heard him over there screaming. He's just like, no, I bear him no ill will, blah, 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 blah. I mean, that's how you can tell a lie. Because he's not even, I mean, if he was doing nothing over there, he'd be like, this guy's yelling all the time. He's nuts. He's nuts over there yelling if he wasn't doing anything. But he lies, and you can tell because it kind of shifts reality. He's like, oh, no, I don't have any ill will towards that guy. Like, he has nothing to do with me, He would have complained about the yelling. He has like two daughters, and that's what the sheriff came back and told me all this stuff of what he said. And he said, the guy has two daughters. He's like, and it starts his disbelief on it, that this guy's not doing it because he has two daughters. And I find that very gross. Like, this guy has, a nice wife and two daughters, and he hides behind that to murder American citizens in their house. And nobody would ever believe that. And I don't know what he's thinking. I think he thinks it's so covert, and he's doing this new military thing, and he's found a way to hate me, even though he started torturing me. He tortured me for 3 months without me even knowing that. I thought it was from the last place I had been. I thought it was tinnitus that I had just, gained because the people were using this EMF on me. So his whole purpose, really, when he started it, was to torture me and hurt me, so where I didn't even know that it was going on, that I just thought it was something wrong with my body. And then, I found out because I moved to the opposite side of the house that, the Latino family then started doing it from that side, and then I knew. I was like, okay, they brought it here. The people who had started it in the apartment complex came over, asked this guy to do it, and I guess they have enough dirt on me. I mean, they probably surveilled me for like 2 years, the apartment complex, without me knowing. And like, when you don't know you're being surveilled and you're just a guy in your house, I mean, I'm sure I've researched weird things that scare people. I've probably done weird things. I don't know. As a single man, like, I get bored, I'll study the Illuminati or serial killers or something like that. Not like I'm gonna be a serial killer, but I think these literal guys that do this, they're very literal, and they'll see you watching something on the, like, if they're surveilling you, they see you watching something like dangerous material, like Sandy Hook hoax or something like that, or conspiracy theories. I think they automatically are so literal that they're like, this guy believes every word of everything that he's watching on the internet. He's dangerous. We've got to kill him. While in the meantime, they are actually murdering people, and I'm just watching something weird on the internet. So it's funny to see how all this is like a huge, not just double standard, but a million standard. It's like this guy's been given carte blanche to murder people in their houses, and I can't watch, something weird on the internet. I can't just sit in my house. Like, so, yeah, he's kind of taking my rights by, by secretive stuff. But, I mean, he did. He lied to sheriff. And, and the interesting thing is, when the sheriff went over to talk to him, another sheriff car pulled up to his house, and 2 guys got out, and they went and talked to him, but they didn't come over and talk to me. Only the one guy who came first, the sheriff who came first, came back and talked to me. And I think, and he was like, oh yeah, that was my sergeant or whatever. So why did they show up? Why did they show up and go directly to the ex-military guy's house? They didn't come to my house where the complaint came from. They went straight to the ex-military guy's house. And it was a sergeant, and he said it was somebody that he was training. And I think that is very, very fishy. And like I said, I think a lot of policemen don't know about this, but I think some are complicit in it, and they think it's an extension of the law. that was very weird because they didn't even come over and talk to me after that. They just drove straight to the ex-military guy's house, and then went up there while they were talking with the first sheriff that came. That's very weird. They would come, if the complaint came from my address, they would come to my address, unless the ex-military guy called them for some reason. So that was very, very weird. You know, I think that, I really do, I think some police know about it. They know about it, and if they think that you're dangerous enough, the lies have gone on long enough that they think they're doing the right thing. You know, and it's sad because the guys who organized this, they know. I mean, this guy knows I didn't do anything to him. He's acting mad. He gets mad if I use the bathroom or anything. It's ridiculous. But it's kind of like a cult. It's already there. These people aren't gonna change their minds. It doesn't seem like they'll ever. They're just like, yeah, kill him, get him out, blah blah blah. They don't care. It feels good to be in a group and killing somebody, I guess. I'm a person that doesn't understand that because, like, I'm kind of, I've been through Crohn's disease, and I'm kind of abstract. I'm a Pisces. I'm a writer, so it's like I don't see the groupthink as, I see that as kind of like the Borg. It's like hell, that you can't have your own thoughts. You have to do what the other people are doing, and I want to create some originality in the world, And I think that scares some of these guys because they're built a different way, so they see somebody who's different or researches weird stuff or something, and they're like, oh, that guy's dangerous. He's on the margins of society, and we've got to take him out. We got to kill him, so everything can be neat and tidy. I really don't know how this guy thinks. I've called him a Satanist a couple of times, screamed at him, called him a Satanist. And most of the time I'll just talk at a normal level, because they're surveilling me in my car and here. It really sucks. And I don't call him a Satanist because I know him. Like, I've met him once. He didn't seem like a Satanist, but he's ritually abusing and raping and molesting somebody in their home. So that's what Satanists do. I mean, that's what evil people do. They rape and murder people in their homes. They trap them and shoot radiation at them. I mean, it doesn't seem like that's what a good person does. So if he thinks he's a good person, he's just killing somebody he doesn't know. That's a very huge mistake. It's a huge misunderstanding. But alright, but I wanted to make a video because I had a little bit of a reprieve. I'm pretty safe in my enclosure. What I'd recommend is neutralizers, and like if you do buy a tabletop defender, they're $500. I tried it with it right by me, so if he's remotely hitting me or something like that, it would neutralize it right by me. But the best way to do those, if you do buy a tabletop defender from Q-Wave, it's $500. But if you're kind of financially fit and these people are doing this to you, I'd really recommend a tabletop neutralizer, putting it next to the closest you can get to the people who are shooting the stuff at you, even if it's remotely, because the stuff they do remotely, they're piping in on the ground, and I'm sure of that. They're piping it into a satellite system on the ground. They're not typing in up to a satellite, and the satellite's creating the EMF or creating the ELF. They're using that on the ground and pumping it into a satellite system somehow. And I don't know how they're doing that, but I'm sure because the neutralizers I put on the ground affect the remote satellite attacks. And I'm sure of that. Like, I'm sure of it because I've tested it a million times, and it affects the ELF and the EMF on the remote satellite attacks. I'm not sure how much it takes away the remote neural monitoring because I'm not sure what kind of microwaves that uses. It does help the microwave hearing, neutralizers that Q-Wave makes. But just wanted to give a shout out. Thanks for everybody for subscribing to me. Thanks for your comments. I've gotten a lot of good comments that have made me think. It made me think about my situation. Like, yeah, that fits. That's kind of what I was seeing. Some guy was like, the stuff they're using doesn't work as good if you're not paying attention to it, and you're at a higher level and you're staying happy and stuff. So what they want to do, the program wants to psychologically harass you and bully you and scare you even when you go out and you're driving and stuff like that. So it brings you down to a lower, depressed, angry, you're going more towards your animalistic side. And once you do that, once you're at a lower energy, this stuff really does affect you more. Because I've had some times where I've, screamed at this guy, beaten on a wall, and just like after that I felt like crap. And then the stuff that he was shooting at me, it just seemed to hurt me more. So I think if you stay at a high level, you stay happy, still fight it, but stay humorous, stay happy. And I'm not saying tell them jokes if they're surveilling you, but just keep it light on yourself. And it's hard to say because a lot of this stuff is it's so dark and demonic, and it's people stalking people and hurting them in their homes, and it's very a dark situation. But you want to try and stay above it as much as you can, because that's what they're trying to do. They're trying to get your attention, bring you down to a low level, make you depressed, make you anxious, scare you, and then they start shooting you with the EMF weapons and the ELF weapons. And I think it does. I think if you're depressed, the stuff really does have more of an effect on you. And somebody commented, and I do realize that. I realize that if I don't talk to them, it goes away. It's duller. But if you're involved with them, it's like all that stuff seems bigger. It seems bigger, and it seems like it's getting you more. And I don't know I don't know exactly the scientific theory on that, but I think it is just if you have higher brainwave levels and you're happier, you got higher energy levels. I think it's harder for this stuff to break that down. I hope everybody's doing good out there. I hope I've helped some people by my shielding. I know some people don't think that shielding makes us look crazy, but like I said, my guy's militant. He wants to kill me. I mean, I've heard him, and I know he's just saying that's a psych out, whatever, but he does. He'd kill me, because it's like then he wouldn't get caught. I could die in my home, and he'd just be like, oh wow, I don't know what happened, because it's all secretive. And it sucks. It sucks that somebody would do that. It's like he doesn't even know me, but it's like he's using that fact that he doesn't even know me to bizarrely try and murder me and stalk me. So it's like, why are you doing it in the first place if you don't know me? You're using that fact that you don't know me, which you shouldn't have anything against me, as a way to prop you up more, to make it more covert. It's like, why do it in the first place? But alright guys, I just wanted to make a short video. More power to you. If you have any questions, I know somebody left their phone number, and I'm going to try and call them, but you might not want to put your phone number on the comments or on YouTube. Email me with your number, and maybe it was on an email, maybe I'm mistaken, but I'm going to try and call everybody. I'm trying to answer all the comments and get back to you, because they're all good, and I really we do need to start a conversation. And it would be great. Somebody said we need to get together. So I'm going to call this person, and maybe we could all set something up if we can do it by email, and maybe meet in a certain state or something like that. I don't know. I don't want to say where I live. I want to make this very general, just in case. But when we're talking and we're conversing over email and stuff like that, it may not be a bad idea to see where we all live and maybe meet in a state or a place that's well known for a week or something, and just discuss what we're gonna do, discuss just how we defend ourselves, and what are the best practices for stopping these guys, because I just think about it a lot, and I want a girlfriend, I want to get married, I want a life, I want to finish my book, I want to help cancer patients with my mom's business, I want to do all these things. It's weird though, it's weird how when I'm doing that stuff and working this guy on the microwave hearing, he's like, see, he's crazy. Like, I mean, so he can, don't feel bad about anything that you do, because even if you were, playing the violin with your feet, they're still going to say you're crazy. I mean, it's propaganda. He has to say you're crazy. These people have to keep that going so they can kill you, because they have to make you look like the worst human in the world, dehumanize you, take away your rights, and, watch you in the bathroom, and then everybody's kind of like, because it's unprecedented, and they can't handle that, so they think since they're seeing you in the bathroom that you're doing something wrong. I think some people actually are, like, off, and they think that this is happening, and they're really mad at me because they can see me in my house doing stuff naked. I think they really aren't capable of saying, well, that's stupid, we're looking inside of his house, we're surveilling him. I think they don't, either they're lying with him, or they're really, like, just off, and they're just like, okay, well, I can see him in his house, and that he's gross when he's naked. Like, I don't know how they think. It's all illogical. It tears every human being down in the neighborhood, pretty much. It just doesn't lift us up. It tears us all down. So, well, me mostly, I don't know. There's some other people suffering, and I don't want to talk about it, but it's like, my family's suffering, probably his family suffering, certain people there. And it's sad because it seems like the only people who are enjoying it or getting a thrill out of it or staying on top of it are the killers, or people who are okay with murder. And that's what it seems like to me. It's sad. It's sad that, Americans could do this to each other. And, we're seeing those girls in Nigeria who were kidnapped. They were going to sell them for $13. And it's just like, I feel like life just gets more cheap every day. Every day, it's like people get more cynical, and they don't care about each other. But it's like, you can be cynical and not like human beings or whatever, but you don't go around killing them. Because there might be a human being who really loves life. Like, I love life. I love life. I love my parents. I want to do something good. I want to follow my dreams and write my book. I mean, if he doesn't believe in any of that, and he believes that murder doesn't matter and stuff like that, I mean, I don't know. Stop him when he murders somebody, but stay away from me. Just stay away from me. Let me live my life. You go your way, I go mine. I don't see how that philosophy that I have, and I've always done that. If I've ever insulted anybody, it's always been indirectly by something I'm doing that has nothing to do with them. And that's how all this started. It's like I was doing stuff that insulted all these people, but I wasn't even thinking about it. I was just thinking about doing it myself, And I guess some people, it's like they can't tell you, hey, stop this, it's bothering me. And then I'd be like, okay, I'll stop it. But, alright, well, I'm digressing. I'm just babbling at this point. I like babbling sometimes. It keeps me from talking to my attackers, which nothing I say ever helps in any positive manner. It just interacts with them, and if you've got somebody who wants to kill you, it's just going to give them fodder. They can just turn and twist anything you do, say. I mean, but they can really twist anything you do in your home if they're privately surveilling you. Yeah, it's just sad. It's a waste of time. It has affected how much I can help my family. Like, I slept all weekend because they were really getting me good. I mean, they basically hit me remotely in this. And so from the sides, they can't really get me. They can't really get me that bad, but then I only have thin aluminum polyester, and I put tons up there in balls, just so whatever's coming down remotely will be caught by it, And it works a bit, but even if like 5% gets through, it can hurt you, and it stays on your skin and in your muscles. It can make you hurt. It can burn your nerves. I'm not sure burn your nerves, but it irritates them, But this is what happened in my life. I accept it. I accept that. I see my views and I see my subscribers, and I think that I'm helping people. I'm like, oh, that's great. That's what I've always wanted to do. It's in a weird way. I wish it was in a better way where I could be more comfortable in my life, but God has a plan. I know He does. I know God has a plan for all of us who are experiencing this. I really believe that. And there will be some terrible times when you don't even feel like a human being. You've been hurt so bad, And like I know those times, but you gotta pick yourself up, and you gotta believe in God. You gotta believe that He can turn all these ashes into beauty. Like really believe it, trust in Him. There is good in this universe, and these people have trapped us and made us think that this is our world, because they trap you in a place where you live, and then they make you think that's the only thing, people attacking you and murdering you. But there's things far out beyond them in the world, good things, and everybody that I've talked to is an authority figure, really has tried to help me. Nobody's tried to, most of them don't believe me, but the sheriff, he was like, well, it seems like you got the best thing you got going with your little enclosure. He's like, if that's working, he's like, because if you can't prove it, what can you do about it? So he wasn't talking to me like I was a crazy person, nor does my post-traumatic stress counselor or my psychiatrist. They, like, the more I talk to them, the more they treat me like I just don't know about this, but I'm not going to say it doesn't exist. Because nobody's that creative. Nobody could be this creative of a schizophrenic to say, oh, I'm being remote neural monitored, and they can actually cause pains in my leg, and they can shoot microwaves at me in my head, and they can. I think actually what they do, and my psychiatrist argued with this, but I think they somehow affect the vagus nerve, and it runs through the body. So that's how they can create pains in your legs or your arms or your neck or anything like that with the remote neural monitoring. I think they specifically target the microwave energy on the vagus nerve or certain parts of your body. I don't know. That's a theory, though. I just know what I'm feeling. I know it's coming from a satellite. Some of it, I know some of it's coming from the side. So I don't know about this equipment. I'm trying to learn as much as I can. I'm trying to find a way to completely neutralize it. Like if I had a big enough neutralizer, because the tabletop defenders are like 50 times a personal defender. And so you could probably create just a huge tabletop defender that just put off like 500 times what one usually does. So there's stuff that we can do in the future, and stuff that'll probably be made in the future that'll make this even easier for us. And I'm not sure people who say no shielding, you look crazy or whatever, I'm not sure if they're on our side or not. I'm not sure if it's just a person who really thinks that. I'm sure there's a little bit of both. Alright guys, love you guys, stay strong, and if you get times of rest, really enjoy them, don't complain about life, do as much as you can to help people. This will come back around, and we'll be vindicated. But I think it is a good idea for us to get together, and I know we're kind of paranoid, we think people are infiltrating and stuff like that, but, I'm not a COINTELPRO. I'm not a harasser myself. I am a target individual. They got me because I was isolated and smoking pot. And it was easy to lie about me because I was already kind of discredited by smoking pot, which I did, and it literally heals my Crohn's disease. Literally healed tons of stuff that was going on with my Crohn's disease. Saved my life. But it saved my life, and then started this. The old guy next to me started the EMF, and then it followed me around, and they knew that when they weren't getting caught that it was okay, to keep doing it. Alright, my video's going long. I'll be doing more videos and just chatting. I'm trying to find information that can help more defenses. If you don't have a lot of money, the best thing to do is go buy some thermal blankets, aluminum polyester, and kind of put them around you. If you do have money, I would suggest at least getting one personal defender from Q-Wave. They're $300, and a tabletop defender. Tabletop defenders are so powerful, and this guy's been working on me for 2 years, so it's even stopping him from that. And I know a lot of people, when they first start this stuff, he probably only had one EMF emitter, and he's built his arsenal and networked out. So I'm not sure how he does get by my defenses sometimes, but he does. I'm trying to figure that out. I think maybe he just uses different sides of me, and they kind of try and gauge it. I really don't know. I don't wish I was on the other side, but I wish I could see, what they do and how they're getting through my stuff, because then I could learn more. So this guy, like, my information, my life, my defenses are an open book to him. He's tapped in with his tentacles into my life with technology, so everything I do he sees, and if I put something up, he knows where I'm putting it up, and that's a terrible, terrible thought, and I know a lot of people don't believe that, but I've had to kind of come to terms with it. I don't know. I mean, some people this happens to 25 years. It's not going to happen that long to me. I'm going to fix it. I'm going to make it more dangerous for them to keep me as a targeted individual than to just leave me alone. And I'm going to do these videos. And I did want to mention something. I don't want to insult anybody, and I don't want to use this. I don't want to, what's the word? I don't want to exploit this. I don't want to exploit me being a targeted individual, but this has really hurt my finances. My mom has to help me with money. It's really hurt my finances. So I am going to probably try and turn my YouTube, account into and monetize it to try and get some money from it, and maybe advertise for Q-Wave and Altera. So I just wanted to let y'all know I might be doing that. I don't want to, what was the word that I just used? I don't want to take advantage of the situation. I don't want to exploit this situation, but I do believe in God, and I believe that He works in mysterious ways. So if I'm doing these videos helping people, and I can monetize it and get a little bit of money, connect people in that way, and show y'all how to do it, maybe so y'all could do it too, I feel like that could be a positive. So I'm probably gonna do that pretty soon. I know that a lot of people would probably frown upon that. They're like, well, if you just want to help people, why are you doing that? Because I'm very poor, and my mom has to pay for everything. My dad's in the hospital, so my family is like in a financial dire strait, and I need to help them, with some cash. And I'm going to be doing other stuff too, because I'm sure if you monetize your YouTube channel, you don't get that much. But I'm going to be doing other stuff for money too. But I just want to let y'all know that. So if y'all see that pop up, you're like, oh, this guy is, not for real or whatever. I'm very, very real. And my situation is pretty, it's one of the most hectic. And I want to hear from y'all. I mean, like, do your people do it 24 hours a day? Who do you think they are? Like, who do you think they are? Do you think they're ex-CIA, just normal people? How often do they do it to you? How often do you feel attacked? Because this guy, my guy, he does it all day long. I think he gets the younger guy that hangs out with him to do it too. And the lady who's next door, she's just become a major supporter of him. She was kind of sitting around, for the first part, like 1 year, and then lately she's become a very big supporter of it. And so he's got a woman who's like, yeah, we need to either kill him or get him out. So I think that strengthens his cause. He's trying to get as many people as he can, but he lies to him to do it. So, I can't believe that they don't understand that when he gets me out of here, he's going to follow me. He's going to remotely hit me, and he's going to try and set up a network wherever I go. And if they do believe that, then they're very, very cruel to just be saying, oh yeah, let's just get him out of here. It's a lot of cruelty. It's a lot of misunderstanding. I can't believe humans. I can't believe Americans. Okay, I can believe some crazy stuff in foreign countries going on because of just horrible wars and just people. As Americans, I can't believe this is going on. It's a civil war. It's a civil war, a secret, covert civil war with these guys who think they have the privilege to murder people in their houses, and us, people who are marginalized, we're the first. To have this done to us, but then eventually everybody will have it done to them. We'll all be surveilled in our houses. We'll all be able to, if we do something wrong or think the wrong thought, they can just zap us with electromagnetic frequencies. I wish these people understood that it's a bigger world we live in. It's not just this neighborhood; it's the whole United States. This is going to affect. But all right, guys, stay strong. Shield if it's killing you and you can't stand it and you feel like you have to run out of there and they're going to follow you. shield with aluminum polyester. Get some corrugated steel. Be careful not to get cut. You can get like little 4-foot high aluminum tin things to just put around you. Be creative. Put them up against. Just be creative and try and. And if you're going to do a lot of aluminum polyester and a lot of stuff you're going to put up in tape, use Gorilla Tape. Use Gorilla Tape, because I used what I used duct tape. I used duct tape when I first started it, and I'd always constantly have to be putting it back up, constantly have to be putting it back up. And that gave the guy more credibility. He's like, see, he's crazy. He makes me live like a crazy person, and then he calls me crazy. So it's this cycle, and that's how he lies about the whole thing. But get Gorilla Tape. That stuff will stick. You don't have to mess with it, and it'll come off too. Gorilla Tape, if you're going to tape up any kind of aluminum polyester or anything. Okay, I'm running real long. I always do this. I do have a lot to say on this subject, and when you have your mom saying, and I love my mom. She loves me. I don't think she believes me, but she's like, I've heard enough of it. She doesn't want to hear any more about it. And it kind of makes me mad, but I know that you guys do want to hear about it, because we all know for a fact that this is 1,000,000% true. This is the truth. And I want people that aren't targeted individuals who watch this to know this stuff's going on in America. This stuff is going on in America, and even some policemen don't know about this stuff. So it's dangerous. It's hidden. These guys, they think they have the privilege of kind of deciding who lives and dies. And that's very, very dangerous in America, especially if they're people who are supposed to be safeguarding our rights. So we've got to just start safeguarding our own rights, and we've got to kind of work outside the box to figure this out, to get the information out, and to get connected to each other. And I definitely will be calling the people who leave numbers, but try not to leave it in the comments. Just for your own safety, just privately email it to me, and then I'll give you a call. Because I'm not putting out any specific information on my YouTube channel. Or any numbers or anything like that. You can't be sure who's perusing it, and if they're actually harassers and they get your number or something like that. I mean, let's not be paranoid, but let's be realistic. There are some people who are going to try and use your information to hurt you if you're a targeted individual. But we'll get past all that. We'll have ways to prove to each other that we're the real deal. I have a good sense of who's kind of lying and who's telling the truth, and there's a certain ring to truth. There's a certain ring to it. All right, love you guys. God loves you. I have this time to kind of just be peaceful in my home. I've never enjoyed something so much. I mean, people take it for granted, and I'm still living in this little enclosure to stop somewhat of what they're doing, but I've had some peace now for like just about a day and a half. I don't know. He still tries to get through it, and sometimes he eventually does. Maybe this time I got it, but I'll just keep working at it. It's just the fact that I don't have cash now. I had thousands of dollars in cash, so I could pay my bills. I could get the tabletop defenders if the signal broke through what I was doing. So now I'm working with no money, trying to take what I already have and just moving it around, and trying to figure out which way they're coming from. Trying to get the cheapest stuff, aluminum polyester, which at the very least, if you're poor, get 4 sheets and cover up with them at night. Cover up your head, because it does stop some of the signals. But my guy's got a high grade military EMF frequency and ELF frequencies from like a remote satellite station he has in his house. So it's very powerful. I have to build up and shield so much that it's ridiculous. And I think that's what maybe the person was commenting on that said, "Don't shield like that. You make us look crazy." But it's like I have to pour it on. I have to make layers and layers of this stuff. And also, I've been doing bad. I've been talking back to him. One night, is the worst night ever, and I'll just remember. I have like marks in my wall. I'll show you. Show you the marks in my wall. And I was yelling. I was just yelling a bunch of awful stuff. It wasn't me. I mean, it wasn't me at all. See all the marks where I've kicked it and hit it, and I'll hit it, and I'll call him a murderer. I'll scream, "Murder! You're a traitor to the United States!" Like while I'm doing it, there's marks all over it. And that was the worst night of my life, I think, because I felt like an animal. Like they had been torturing me all night, hitting me. They hit me like back in the back of the neck, and they make my head feel like it's just like all these muscles are sore, so I have to like shift over, and they'll hit me in the eyes. That's really bad when they do that, and just especially in my jaw area on this side, because I do have like a jaw condition on this side, and so they were hitting me really bad one night, and I just wanted to watch a movie, and I flipped out. I just because I wasn't responding to him, but this rage was building up in me. And yeah, so I went to the wall and I was just banging on it, and I was like, oh, I'd cuss. And that's the worst thing you can do, because they're surveilling you. They can videotape all that, and then if they do know cops who maybe aren't complicit but just helping them out, they would show them that video of you kind of having a psych out, because you're being hit with radiation. So you get mad, you react, and they're going to use that. They're going to use that against you. That's the whole point of this, is to make you crazy. To make you look crazy. I think some of these guys even want to make you dangerous. They want to make people dangerous so that they can handle it. Just like they create the problem, then they solve it. It's the same thing. It's the Helectic dialect. Am I saying that right? Helectic, or I don't know. It's the thing where it's like problem, solution, reaction, where they create the problem. They started torturing me in my house, so they create this guy who's anxious in his house and he feels like he has to defend himself. Then they have a solution. They're going to do it more and get him out of his house. And then they have the reaction from everybody in the neighborhood, like who's helping them and everything. And then solution is to get everybody in the neighborhood on board with killing this person and getting them out of their house. So they create the problem, then they create the solution, and they have a reaction by all the people around them who are kind of a mob. And I'm not saying these people are dumb. I'm just saying once you get in a mob, I think you're a lot dumber than what you really are. And I'm not saying these people are dumb. Like, this guy's pretty smart. He's really treacherous. He's been able to secretly do stuff to trick me and stuff like that, but he's got me trapped in a house, so I don't see where it's that much of a challenge, or why any kind of man would do it and not feel bad about himself. Okay, video's going real long. Do this every time. I love talking to you guys. I want to hear your comments. If you are a video maker, like I haven't done anything on my camera and edited anything, but like if you're a video maker, and you are a targeted individual and you want to use my information, not my information like who I am or whatever, but you can mention me, mention Vulcan Wolverine, but if you hear anything that I'm saying that kind of jives with your situation and you want to make a video about that, don't worry about, use any information that I'm putting out. If you're good at videos, I would suggest you do it, because YouTube is the only way we're going to get out our side of this. Except for like telling policemen, psychiatrists, social workers, stuff like that. This is our only. And now there are some news. We are in the news somewhat, very sparsely. So I say we make it a YouTube craze. I'm gonna make as many videos as I can, put them up there, get a lot of views, monetize my account, bring people to the account. I may start even doing something else besides just the targeted individual videos. I may like start it would be a way to get more people to the site to see about targeted individualing. I might try and do something to entice those people that aren't targeted individuals, like movie reviews or something, or book reviews, or comic book reviews even. Maybe nostalgia comic books. I'm a comic book collector, and I could do nostalgic critiques of some of the comics I've done in the past. I don't know. I'm trying to think of that and think about different ways to do something mainstream to get them to my channel, and then once they're there, then they see the targeted individual. I'm trying to think of ways to get the information out more. And once the information's out and we've got enough on it, then maybe we could get some, you can get legal help and stuff like that. I'm not sure how it's going to work. I've never done this, and the people who are, torturing people in their homes, they've never done this either. And that's why a lot of them are doing it, because it's so new, and they're just like, oh, well, this is just an extension of the law, and they're not thinking about it. They're thinking, oh, this is just something new that everybody does, no big deal. I think some of the people are really evil. They really want to kill people, and this is their chance. But, a lot of people, I think they're just like, oh, well, this is the new thing. This ex-military guy's doing it. This guy's in his house, and he seems like he's crazy because he's living in a enclosure. He's painted his house aluminum. So by how I've reacted to this guy, he can make me look crazy to other people. He started this cycle, So but anyway, I will be making some more videos. I love you guys. Stay strong. Stay shielded. If you have a good job, and this is hurting you a lot, and it's mostly ELF and EMF, and it's coming from your neighbors, and you make good money, and you can spend $500 or $300, I'd recommend the tabletop defender first, and putting it right on the side, right up on the wall, maybe 5 feet away from the wall of where you think it's coming from, if you think it's your neighbors. Now, if you don't know where it's coming from and you're pretty sure it's not your neighbors and it's coming from a distance and you're getting hit remotely, I would recommend getting a personal defender and a car defender. Personal defender, definitely, and just getting one, see how well it works. See if it knocks it out. If it doesn't knock it all the way out, but it makes it better, maybe buy another one. And this is for people with the money to spend. And I know we're all very poor because we're unemployable because of this stuff. But we got to do it. We got to do it no matter what. It doesn't matter. Doesn't matter. I've watched my dad. I've watched him. He has a brain injury, an aneurysm, so he has a scar on his head all the way through. And I've watched him go from not being able to speak and move to doing everything on his own, rolling around in a wheelchair, getting back on his phone, reading his email. I've watched him do this over just a couple months, and it's a miracle. And I say, if he can do this, and I know it's a little bit different. It's people trying to murder us and trying to screw with us and trying to hurt us and mutilate us. But it's still a challenge. It's a challenge nonetheless. And we've got to trust in God and be like my dad. I watch him, and he's focused, and he wants his life back. He wants his life back, and that's important. Like, we want our lives back. We want our lives back. Don't give up. Don't be like, my life's not worth anything anymore because these people are torturing me. I have a low, just a low value of life. Your life. What's the word for it? It's I have a low life standards or whatever. You know what I'm talking about. Like your quality of life is bad. But it doesn't always have to be like this. This will not go on forever. I've seen it like go on for years and years, or I've heard of it go on for years and years by some people. But that's not going to happen to us. People are learning about this technology too fast, and people will start confronting it. Information's getting out because of the internet, so it's not the same ball game as like in 1980 or 1990 when the stuff went on for. Somebody'd have 20 years being attacked and targeted. We're getting the information out on the internet right now, so it will become knowledge to people. People will understand what you're talking about at the very least, if we can't stop it. But I think we can stop it. I think we got to look to God. It's funny, I see a lot of people who go through the situation who are very religious now. It's almost like God did this so we would come to Him and have even greater things after this is over. And I believe that too. And I don't know, sometimes it's hard. Sometimes it's like you're being microwaved while you sleep, and it's hard to love the world. It's hard to be anything but depressed. I know people are killers, like normal people who have kids and a wife. He's ready to murder me, like, and he doesn't know me just from looking into my house with the legal surveillance. It's scary, because these people are walking all around outside the United States, only held in check by certain laws. But alright, I will be making some more videos, guys. I'm sorry if I talk too fast. I'm trying to slow it down and just, relate information. I may, I've been saying I'll write stuff down. I think that would make it more orderly, and then I could just do a video that's like 15 minutes instead of this has become an hour. But this is good information too. I get information out. But I do want to kind of slow down on it. It makes me anxious doing these videos because I know that they're surveilling me doing this, and so it's like, man, what's going to happen after I make this video? Are they going to try and amp it up? Are they going to figure out something that I said and try and switch up what they're doing? So it does make me a little bit anxious, but the rewards are a lot greater than the punishments for it. Alright guys, love you, God bless. Leave comments. If you want to contact me, shoot me an email. I'm going to try and answer everybody's comments and try and talk to you through email. It may take a while because I have a lot of stuff going on. But I will get to you. You're all very important, and I think that each one of us, like especially if you have some skills with editing videos or stuff, do some short videos. Like, you don't have to do them as long as me. I kind of babble, but if you just have some things to say, write it down on a piece of paper. Get like one piece of paper and say, hey, I'm a target individual, this is what's happening to me, and put your video up there. Put all the tags, like target individual, organized gang stalking, electronic surveillance, electronic harassment, satellite terrorism, remote neural monitoring. Put those tags on it so people will be able to find it. Even if you just do one video, just saying, don't give your name out or whatever, but just be like, I'm a targeted individual living in the United States, and this is my experience, and write down on a piece of paper what your experiences are. Do a little video, and that will help more than you think. It'll help more than you think, just to do one little video and put it on YouTube. Because if they see all the different people who are going through this, and we already do have some of that on YouTube, a bunch of different people making videos about their experiences, nobody will be able to deny it. Like my post-traumatic stress counselor, I think she thinks I have schizophrenia. I think she thinks I'm just the most creative schizophrenic in the world, I guess. But she has looked online, she looked at my videos, she looked at other people's videos, and she still thinks, well, she said that it was like a group schizophrenia. Like we're all experiencing the same things because somebody started it off and made a story. And I think that's just, she's not a bad person, but if it was that, what I'm saying, she would have to step into action, and she wouldn't know what to do. So I think a lot of these people are like, I don't know what you're talking about. I can help you with your anxiety and your depression, because that's what they've done so far. They're not ready for this. This is unprecedented. And it even though it's gone on for years, since like probably 1970, mid-1970s or 1980, it's been hidden the whole time, and it hasn't proliferated until now. Tons of people all over the world are experiencing it, so now's the time, for us to really come out with the information. But she still thinks that it's like some people can, I guess, just go crazy the same exact way. I don't know. I mean, I know all the people that are trying to help me are very good, but it's like if you haven't experienced it, like if I hadn't experienced this, I would never believe there was a guy who would spend 24 hours trying to torture somebody. Like, I would never believe that. Like what my psychiatrist goes, it's just, he's like, he was frustrated because he could tell that I'm not like crazy. But he's like, it's just so callous, So it's like, I want to tell this military guy, you're not winning this because you're so covert and smart. You're winning this because people don't believe that this type of cruelty even exists in America. Like, you can't believe it. It's such a huge, cruel thing to do, like the biggest lie ever, that people will never believe it. People like it. Didn't Hitler say that people believe in big lies more than small lies? And this is a big, big lie. And so, people have a hard time believing it unless they've experienced it. Especially since it's like you're talking about technology that can you are the piece of surveillance equipment. I am the piece of surveillance equipment. And I think that's one reason they want to get me out of this house, because it's no fun. It's no fun watching me play video games and look at my computer and read. They want to get me out on the street and follow me around to different places where I'm going. They want to use that remote neural monitoring. They want to use that technology to really get me out there and really make it work in conjunction with people, caravanning you and stuff like that. They don't want you to stay in your house. That's boring, So, it's really ridiculous. It's like humans that have nothing to do murdering people who have a lot of, I just watch all the people on YouTube and I see that they have gifts. They have gifts that they're artists or they're writers or, they like making videos or whatever. They have a lot to offer. And who is it for this guy to say, oh, it's okay, we can kill him, it doesn't matter. I've heard him say that on Microwave. It doesn't matter. We can do whatever we want. He's crazy. And this guy's a murderer. He's a murderer. He's murdering me while I sleep, and he's calling me crazy because I'm sitting in my house looking at my computer. It doesn't make sense. It doesn't make any sense. Okay, I'm going real long on this. God bless everybody. I have a hard time if I go over an hour. It takes forever to download. But I've done some other short videos before this. I try and kind of run down the same information sometimes because I know people get the videos at different points, and I know the people who are subscribed to me, y'all can get them in order, so it works both ways. And please let me know what you want to see. Let me know your experience, and if it coincides with mine and I've forgotten something, then I can make a whole new video. So I'm taking requests. I'm taking requests on what y'all want me to talk about. What's the most important thing? What's the thing about this that makes you feel the most guilty? What's the thing about this that makes you feel the most pain? Let's get those things out. Let's start talking about them, because I know one thing that people don't talk about during this is masturbation and how these people, they molest you, they'll hit you in your genitals, and they'll make you, I guess they try and make you feel guilty if you masturbate or whatever. I was talking to my psychiatrist, everybody masturbates. Everybody. Girls I know, guys I know, I masturbate, So it's I know that's a topic and it's embarrassing, and it's if you say anything about it, it's this guy's talking about masturbation, it discredits him, but that's a part of it. It's a part of humanity. It's a part of what you do secretly in your house when you're not in public. And you want to do something in your house, you should be able to do it if you're not murdering somebody. See, that's what I find really weird. They're trying to say I'm a dangerous aspect of this neighborhood. They got to get me out of there because he doesn't want to live by me. But he's a murderer. So it doesn't make sense. He's dangerous. He's built up other people to murder. They'll murder people too. So he's this dangerous factor, and he's created an environment where people are helping him to murder a person, and they're saying that I'm dangerous and I need to get out of here. It doesn't make sense. I'm not doing anything to anybody, nor have I ever done anything to any of these people. So I'm just wondering if some of them are they really think that I've done something to him because that's what he said, and they just don't think about it in their brain. It's just like a cult. They're yeah, this guy's bad, and they hear it enough, and they just go along with it. They don't think about it. They're in the cult, and they're brainwashed. They're brainwashed to think that I'm bad and I have something against them, or I'm going to do something to them. I just wonder sometimes, or I wonder if they're just lying, and they know they're lying, and they just want to kill somebody. They just want to ritually abuse somebody. But I don't know. A lot of things I don't know, and I'll conjecture about them. I would just like to talk about the facts more. I'm not scared about speaking about this anymore because I realize now, and I realized it before, this is the worst thing that can happen to a human being in the world. Because you can go to prison, you're not going to be tortured 24 hours a day. You could actually be a terrorist, an enemy combatant of the United States, and you can surrender, and they'll put you in a prison or whatever, but you won't, and you may be tortured a little bit, but you wouldn't be tortured for 24 hours a day. These are American citizens who can't sleep ever because of 24-hour-a-day torture and just because the way it's done, everybody thinks it's okay. This is the worst thing ever that could happen to a human being, for you to be trapped in a virtual torture chamber and not be able to live your dreams out, being uncomfortable when you come around people because they're going to think you're crazy. If you tell them this is the worst. It's the worst. It's the worst thing somebody could do to another human being. And I find it, I guess, fascinating that these guys, they're mad at me. They've destroyed my life. They've destroyed my relationships with my parents. I mean, we have enough love, so it's not going to destroy it completely, but they've hurt my relationships with my mom, my dad. You know, they've hurt them. They've stressed them out. This is like the evil that they're doing. It's a ripple effect, you know? And it's like, and they yell at me on the microwave here, and get the out of here, you know, and all this stuff. And they're really angry. And I've done nothing to them. They've destroyed my life and hurt me physically in ways that, you know, I may get cancer, you know, from all this stuff. It's been 4 years of straight stuff to my head. And they're angry and yelling at me while they murder me. And like the other night, I was like, you know, this is the closest thing you could get to rape, where it's just like a guy is raping a girl, and the girl's like, no, 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 you're hurting me, no, stop, stop, and the guy's like, you want it, you want it. It's that. It's like, it's just a rape, and they're just gonna call you crazy because I'm sure, like when guys rape girls or whatever, they just call them. They're like, oh, you're crazy. I didn't do that. You're crazy. You know, you just gotta defame them and dehumanize them so nobody believes them. It's horrible. It's horrible. It's like they're hurting you and insulting you, and then adding insult to injury by everything else they do to lie about it. But we'll get into that more. I mean, I'm not a woman, so when I say this is close to rape, they hit my genitals and stuff like that. So it's molesting somebody physically. It seems like satanic ritual abuse because it goes on all the time. It's all the guy does. He sits in his house and points weapons at me to try and torture me in my home. I mean, it's sick. It's like a sick practice. He's built his life around it. You know, he's getting other people involved as we go along. Because as we go along, he's torturing my body. Like when he really has me tortured and hurting, that's when he's the most likely to point and say, "Oh, the guy, see, he's crazy. Look at him physically." And he's pointing at his handiwork. He's pointing at his and the other people who started this handiwork of ripping a person down physically, so the person looks tired, and they say you're crazy. It's just so un-American. It's so the opposite of do no harm. You know what doctors learn. I don't get it. I don't understand what kind of philosophy could do this except nihilism. Like, nihilism is when you don't really believe in anything and you can kill anybody and nothing matters. Satanism, which is killing people, ritually abusing them to kind of get a thrill out of it or get pumped up from it. I don't know. I don't know what philosophy this is. It's alien to me to kill somebody that you don't even have to see in life, that you never had to even interact with, and finding reasons to pretend that you hate them so you can kill them. I don't understand it. I think, I mean, I want to write my book. I want to get a job. I want to get cash flow in. I want to help my family. I want love around me. When I go to my dad to take care of him, I want to have a feeling of love so I can give it to him and I can, have strength that he can draw from. But instead, it's like I fight these guys every day. I go in to take care of my dad. I'm worn out. I can't even talk. And then they're trying to hit me in the nursing home. I mean, this guy's trying. I'm sitting in a chair by my dad watching TV, and he's trying to hit me with EMF around my head and ELF. They like to hit like the front of my head and my eyes and stuff like that to give me really bad headaches in the front. And they try and kind of hide it. They'll do it on my jaw so that I think, oh well, I'm just having a headache or something. And I think that's what some people experience, and they don't even know who their attackers are. So I feel lucky to even know who my attackers are, and I'm sure of it because of just things that have happened. When the sheriff came and went over to talk to him, all the stuff got shut down. The microwave hearing got shut down. The ELF, the EMF, it was all shut down. They shut it down completely when the sheriff went to talk to him. So like a lot of stuff has happened where I'm certain it is him. And there might be somebody he's getting help from remotely from somewhere else or something, but I know he is the organizer. He's the big dog doing this. And so, okay, I'm running real long. I hope this video doesn't take too long to upload. leave your comments. I'm going to try and get to all y'all's comments, man. I love y'all. Like, y'all are supporting me so much, and just know that if you make these videos like this, people will support you. I've had like one negative comment, and it wasn't even from like a harasser. It was from somebody who just had an opinion about the shielding that's a targeted individual. So this has been like so positive, and I want to tell y'all